Welcome to the AI Hustle Podcast, the podcast where we break down the latest in AI news, tools, and interview experts helping you hustle and do more using AI. If you've been following the podcast for a while, you'll know that over the last 6 months, I've been working on a stealth AI startup. Of the hundreds of projects I've covered, this is the one that I believe has the greatest potential. So today I'm excited to announce AIBox. AIBox is a no-code AI app building platform paired with the App Store for AI that lets you monetize your AI tools. The platform lets you build apps by linking together AI models like ChatGPT, Midjourney, and 11 Labs. Eventually will integrate with software like Gmail, Trello, and Salesforce, so you can use AI to automate every function in your organization. To get notified when we launch and be one of the first to build on the platform, you can join the waitlist at aibox.ai. The link is in the show notes. We are currently raising a seed round of funding. If you're an investor that is focused on disruptive tech, I'd love to tell you more about the platform. You can reach out to me at jaden@aibox.ai. I'll leave that email in the show notes. CoreWeave, which provides cloud infrastructure for AI training, has just secured a $2.3 billion loan. So today on the podcast, we're going to be diving into CoreWeave, what they are doing, and what the implications of this loan and kind of this company in general are on AI. So I think as companies right now are really kind of racing to adopt AI, they're also placing really significant demand on cloud computing resources. We have companies like AWS, Microsoft, Google, Oracle. They're all feeling the pressure in this specific field. And I think these giants are, dealing with a huge surge in demand for, the server chips necessary to essentially power a lot of these AI-centric software. So I think this is happening to the extent that essentially they're having to restrict availability from customers. Like you see with NVIDIA, right? They have wait lists to get their A100 chips and all sorts of things. So this is an area that obviously is very, very popular, very hotly contested. So Microsoft in particular, I think, has been really vocal about its struggles. They've, cautioned recently about potential service disruptions due to the lack of AI chips for their data centers, right? This is absolutely insane. One of the biggest tech companies in the entire world, I believe this was yesterday, they said, hey, we may experience service outages because we just don't have the chips necessary. Our products are incredibly popular, blah, blah, blah. Really, really interesting. But it's not just these like big, huge tech companies that are feeling the pressure. I think a lot of startups are also kind of in the thick of it. So CoreWeave is hoping to help solve those problems. So this is a startup that's essentially dedicated to GPU-powered cloud computing. And they actually raised $221 million in a Series B round this April. And then they grabbed another $200 million in May in a follow-on round. I think just the market was exploding. So CoreWeave also recently announced, like I mentioned earlier, that they have now secured, in addition to those, another $2.3 billion in debt financing. So this financial boost, which was done by Blackstone, Magner Capital, and was also backed by Koa Digital Bridge Credit, and then some funds managed by Primco and Carlyle. This comes just after CoreWeave's announcement of a $1.6 billion data center set to be built in Plano, Texas. So according to CoreWeave's CEO, Michael Intriger, the influx of funding is essentially going to offer financial headroom and flexibility, which should help them reach their target of operating 14 data centers by the end of the year. So they are trying to build these things at an absolute breakneck speed. This is really, really impressive, but obviously the demand is really hot. And I think they also know that this is they sort of have a window right now where the demand is high, but other people will be building these tools, so the demand may not be high forever. And so they know that, you kind of have to strike while the iron's hot in a sense on this. So Intriture confirmed that the funds are going to be used to purchase and pay for hardware for already signed contracts, and also to continue to hire top-tier talent. So he highlighted that no one was expecting this level of demand for GPU compute, but that their strategic investments to increase capacity are continuing to pay off. So they said, we are delivering where others cannot. So CoreWeave was founded back in 2017 by Brian Venturo and also Brandon McBee. And essentially they saw an unmet need in the cloud market, and they were trying to fill this. So Venturo, who is a Ethereum miner, he's a keen Ethereum miner, and he sourced GPUs from insolvent cryptocurrency mining farms. and he specifically was choosing NVIDIA hardware for their superior kind of memory capacity. So it's no surprise that NVIDIA is one of their investors. So initially, CoreWeave was all about kind of cryptocurrency applications. However, as they've since kind of pivoted to general purpose computing and generative AI technologies, I think especially a lot of text generating AI models, they've seen a massive uptick in growth. So I think this shift was possible due to kind of the nature of GPUs, which can perform a lot of different computations concurrently, which make them really ideal for training advanced models. And NVIDIA, of course, is a key player in this arena. And because of that, they have definitely seen some very significant benefits. At one point, NVIDIA became a $1 trillion company. So I think today CoreWeave provides access to over a dozen NVIDIA GPU models in the cloud. And so these are, H100s, A100s, A40s, RTX, A6000s, and all of these are utilized for various different applications. We have AI and machine learning, visual effects, rendering, batch processing, and of course, pixel streaming. So CoreWeave has also applied its infrastructure to special projects like AI supercomputers, which are comprised of over 35 H100s. And this is a venture that they recently unveiled in collaboration with NVIDIA. So they're obviously, going pretty hard in building some really, really impressive technology to kind of ease the demand. So in terms of revenue, the cloud computing market is really, at the moment, it's really dominated by Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. So I think in the last year alone, AWS did 80 billion. Google Cloud and Azure brought in 75 billion and 26 billion. So in comparison, I think CoreWeave's valuation and capital is about 2 billion for their valuation, and then for their capital, it's about 576 million. So a recent Statistica report from Q4 of last year highlights the market dominance, with AWS controlling over 30% of the market. Azure is around 23%, and Google is about 10%. So while challenging market conditions and an uncertain economy have definitely led to kind of consolidation within the cloud industry, I think it doesn't mean that smaller players aren't going to still be able to be successful. So CoreWeave has really focused on supporting this field of generative AI, and I think because of that, they've obviously seen some massive benefits. And according to their CTO, who's Brian Venturo, CoreWeave's new data center is going to be able to host almost 20,000 GPUs in a single location, this is far more than traditional cloud providers. And so I think this just kind of speaks to some of the innovative ways that they're tackling this. Sometimes it really does take a scrappy, small startup to be able to deliver in a way that some of the bigger giants are not. So I think as these AI models become a lot more sophisticated, the need for these specialized GPU cloud infrastructures is going to rise. And then I think that while a lot of the tech giants obviously are investing in these in-house supercomputers and AI chips to essentially train their AI models, smaller companies are kind of looking to cloud providers like CoreWeave. And I think that there's plenty of capital flowing in the industry. PitchBook data actually said that approximately $1.7 billion was generated across 26 deals for generative AI startups in Q1 of this year. So I think, one company, Inflection AI, led by, DeepMind's co-founder Mustafa Suleyman. I've covered them a lot on the podcast, for better or for worse. They're actually leveraging CoreWeave's infrastructure to train their AI assistant, Pi. And Inflection is also collaborating with NVIDIA and CoreWeave to construct an AI training cluster with 22,000 H100 GPUs, which some are saying is what OpenAI used to actually train ChatGPT. So I think in an attempt to really kind of differentiate itself, CoreWeave has launched an accelerator program that provides compute credits, hardware resources, and discounts to CoreWeave Cloud to essentially participating companies. And so following its acquisition of cloud rendering platform Conductor Technologies, CoreWeave's team has actually grown about 150% to just over 115 employees. So I think Intratur confirmed plans to continue hiring throughout the year, with its debt facility providing necessary support. It's clear, I think, that despite the challenges, CoreWeave is finding kind of a niche and is powering ahead in a really quickly evolving cloud infrastructure landscape. I think you have to give them a lot of credit for the pivots that they have made to be this successful, right? Originally, this was essentially a company that was buying insolvent crypto mining GPUs, and they've really turned this into kind of an AI powerhouse, working with some of the most funded and top players in AI. So I think this is a really great time for them to be growing as a company, and it'll be really interesting to follow them and also other companies in the space doing similar things. I think this is going to be really, really hot in the future. If you are looking for an innovative and creative community of people using ChatGPT, you need to join our ChatGPT creators community. I'll drop a link in the description to this podcast. We'd love to see you there, where we share tips and tricks of what is working in ChatGPT. It's a lot easier than a podcast, as you can see screenshots, you can share and comment on things that are currently working. So if this sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the comment. We'd love to have you in the community. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Hustle podcast. If you could do us a massive favor, we would really, really appreciate it if you could leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. This helps people find the podcast. It helps people know this is a good place to go. And we would really, really appreciate it, as it helps us continue to bring on incredible guests and share incredible content for you to listen to.